Thousands of people in Cape Town participated in a protest march on Parliament in solidarity with the Palestinian People's Great Return March. Various faith-based organizations and NGOs joined the Muslim Judicial Council in calling for the expulsion of the Israeli ambassador from South Africa in response to what it calls the continued oppression of the Palestinian people.
Our Christian, Jewish brethren, the Hindus, everybody is here making up this rainbow nation of South Africa, and we have only one agenda. We say that the Palestinians have a right of return and they have a right to peacefully show the world.
Accepting the memorandum on behalf of Parliament, Mandla Mandela said the actions of the Israeli government should be condemned.
My grandfather coined this as the greatest moral issue of our time, and yet many citizens throughout the global community remain silent on this. We want to make a call to the international solidarity movement and the people in the global community who stood behind the Release Mandela campaign to ensure that they come united and stand behind the Palestinian struggle.
The South African Zionist Federation says the protest action was unfortunate as it creates negativity. It says the South African government is short-sighted as it's removing itself from playing a mediating role.
If South Africa sort of takes this unilateral action to say we're actually going to withdraw from this point of engagement and dialogue, it actually excludes South Africa. And South Africa should rather be saying, you know what, we want to sit in between the Israelis and the Palestinians. We want to bring our own knowledge and experience to the discussion. We want to actually call for peace and engagement and dialogue. And I really feel South Africa ought to take that role as opposed to withdrawing and just simply criticizing Israel.
In Johannesburg, a similar call as many marched on the U.S. consulate.
Never shall we accept nor acquiesce to any alteration to the moral, cultural and religious demographic identity of the holy city of Jerusalem, which has been custodian to the Abrahamic faiths for centuries.
Meanwhile, friends of Israel have weighed in.
I don't believe that the ANC's recall last night was a knee-jerk reaction. They were waiting for the opportunity. I truly believe that it had been planned and mapped. As I said, if anyone's been watching the unrolling of the developments over the last 8 weeks, people were pushed to the border. People were given instruction. Knowing the outcome, people within the ANC, I believe, were ready literally to pull that trigger, and it happened.
As Palestinians bury their loved ones, many believe the international community has an obligation to ensure that the two nations live side by side. Ntakwana Ngatani, SABC News, Johannesburg.